Let's play some Sentinels.
Fixer. Oh, Pickle fans, come on.
Oh, you've been quoted out of context. You must be a famous person now.
I am a famous person now. But we're gonna win. Unless the environment kills us. So yeah, I could have waited and
We have
taken...
damage! Grand Warlord boss!
I did not think that would work out, but it did. Well done, team.
Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's 7-ish. So that must mean it's time to welcome you all to Sentinels Live. I missed you folks last week. It was Halloween.
Yeah, we never saw nor hide nor hair of you.
I know. I was completely missing. Didn't show up even for a moment. I got to go trick-or-treating with my kids. It was awesome. Actually, it started out awesome, and then someone showed up, like knocked me out, threw me in a closet, and took my kids trick-or-treating. I heard it was a really good time. This guy was pretty funny, though. He was kind of like purple and pink. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I don't have very clear memories of it, but my kids told me they had a good time. Almost as good as it would have been if I had taken them trick-or-treating.
Probably because you keep your whiskey stash in there, right?
Pretty much. All right. Thanks for joining us around the digital tabletop where we play Sentinels of the Multiverse. The goal of these streams is to have some fun while showing you how to play the game, as well as covering strategies that might help you win. Handelabra does believe in civil rights for all and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. And along those lines, I would remind everyone, if you are, I guess, in any time zone other than Eastern in the United States, you still have time to go out and vote. Whether you are left, right, center, none of the above, go participate in our democracy. Polls, I know, in Cleveland are still open for another half an hour, and then obviously across the country, I don't know, check local polling. But every year is an election year. Always remember that.
If you are an energy-based life form that is above the sphere of material things, you should still vote.
There you go.
You could probably vote really effectively.
If you do enjoy the show, please like, share, follow, and subscribe. And we'll do some show notes here. Check out the other shows that are here on twitch.tv/Handelabra Games. We've got Dolphins Dive on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tales from the Archive is Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And this week, and for the next 3 weeks, while we are running our Kickstarter that you can see on the screen, which we'll talk a little bit more about in just a moment, we are going to be doing dev streams on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow is the first of those dev streams. Jean-Marc is going to be taking you through engine programming. How exactly do you make an engine that plays one deck dungeon? So he's going to be showing you a little bit about how he's built it, how it's constructed, how the game plays, and how you have to sort of build a brain that knows how to play that. So check that out, 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. And of course, we'll be on our YouTube if it's in the middle of the workday and you can't watch live, so don't worry, you won't miss a thing. And then, yeah, like I said, every Wednesday from here on out, as long as the campaign is still going. Next week, I think, is going to be UI. So John will be showing you how we build the game in Unity and how that all works. And then after that, we haven't really decided. Maybe there'll be a music stream. Maybe there'll be some more Unity stuff. We don't really know yet. But we are actively working on the game while we are kickstarting the game. So speaking of that, if you aren't familiar with One Deck Dungeon, it's on Kickstarter. You should go check it out. Go to onedeckdigital.com. I will put that in the thingy. Or John will put it in the thingy.
Too late.
And I'll put it in the thingy too. And that is where we are kickstarting One Deck Dungeon. And for those of you watching Sentinels Live, you might be interested in some of the stretch goals. One in particular, which is that a certain Prime Warden will be making her way into the dungeon if we can make it to a certain stretch goal. That's right, Fanatic. Maria? Is it Maria?
Yeah.
No. Maria Helena, I don't remember. She's going to be making her way
Maria
into
Helena is
that's El
Capitan.
I'm like El Capitan. No, it's La Capitan. So yeah, they Fanatic will be making her way into the dungeon.
I guess it's Helena.
Yeah, Helena. Okay,
but
good.
But she's not Helena anymore, right?
She's not Helena anymore. Right. Helena was the girl that she was, and that is her no longer. Spoiler alert! Check out the letters page to find out what that all means. But yes, you should check that out. She's going to be coming to. Yes, El Capitan would be for a Swaptober. She'll be coming to One Deck Dungeon if we can get to that stretch goal. 30,000. We are on the cusp of funding. We cracked 17,000 today. We only need to get to 20, and we're moving right along. I mean, the last couple days I've seen quite a bit of action, so please do tell your friends. Check it out. We would love to bring One Deck Dungeon to you, and I think we're just about there. So make that happen, people.
Yeah, and then we'll get stretch goals. We're looking forward to new content. There's Fanatic that we don't even know what her power is going to be and all that stuff. And there's also brand new secret hero and dungeon stuff. So
the dungeon may or may not be thematically linked to Fanatic. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge. I'm Jeremy. You can follow me at Mr. J Handel. That's MRJHANDEL. And joining me as always is John, who you can follow at Migrant P. You can always follow the company at Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. And of course, Handelabra Games right here on Twitch. As we are the developers, we typically try to give you some insight into the process, as well as maybe even show you some stuff before anyone else can see it. As you all know, we are currently in the midst of the fall of the variants. And the variant that we will be unlocking tonight is special for a couple of reasons. I think most of you have probably figured out who it's going to be. But what you may or may not know is that after we push the button tonight, we will have officially released 50 variants for
hard to believe,
for Sentinels of the Multiverse. Yeah, that is crazy to think about. I think I mean, it's interesting, you know, like I was spending a lot of time going back over, like, looking through the numbers and sort of seeing how that has all come about. And it's amazing to think about how, number one, this game has been out for 3 years already. I can't even believe that. But there's so much more content in there. Like, when I think about what the first version of Sentinels was compared to what it is now, it's such an amazing evolution. And it's awesome. So you guys will be able to check that out in just a couple short hours after we push the button. But let me finish my pre-roll here. The game does include a tutorial that covers the basics, and we always do our best to explain exactly what we're doing when we do it and why. And depending on how long it takes for us to win or lose, we often play multiple games in each 2-hour, and if I'm not around to keep things moving, 2 to 3 hour episode. I understand they went a little crazy last week. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, as well as PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and always in good old analog cardboard and ink. Check out sentinelsdigital.com for more info, as well as to download and try the demo absolutely free. Oof, I got a little bit of indigestion. Excuse me. I hope I'm not burping.
What'd you have for dinner?
I had a salad and some mozzarella sticks. And they were delicioso. All right, so what should we play tonight? Let's see here. Online multiplayer. New game.
Mind Wanderer asks, how do you decide which variant is released each week anyway? We have the list of the variants, and we pick an order, and basically no particular reason.
Yeah, I mean, some of it actually had to do with, like, for instance, the reason why the variant who's coming out tonight is the last of the variants that come out tonight is because she was one of the more mechanically complex. And even though we launched the binary that first included support for this variant with the first batch, we actually realized that we needed to get a quick bug fix in there before we made her live. And so, you know, we sort of looked at, like, how difficult they were to program, how difficult they were going to be to unlock, a number of other features, and just sort of picked something that sort of made sense. We have actually changed the order at least once through the fall of the variants in terms of who we were going to release on a certain day, and then sort of changed it before we actually did it. But at this point, moving forward, I think we're pretty locked. You know, there's basically 6 more after tonight. And then the fall of variants will be done. You know who those are if you are watching things like the release notes, since that binary came out just a couple days ago. 257, I want to say it was.
It doesn't list them in the release notes.
It doesn't list them in the release notes, but if you're paying attention to not only Sentinels Live, but also enough to know which variants are included in the fall of the variants, which we've left several hints in various places about, it should be pretty obvious who's still going to be coming. So
I think we put Argent Adept on Halloween because that was cool. And we just tried to space them out a little bit, so like there weren't 2 Captain Cosmics in a row and that sort of thing.
Right.
But yes, there's all sorts of conspiracy theories in the forums about things. They're like, this is the numerological system of how the ordering of the variants is coming out. It's like, that's great. You do that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to interfere with your conspiracy theory.
So speaking of that, let's take a look at a new variant tonight who I am going to play. This is Freedom 5 Absolute Zero. And his power is Pilot Light. Absolute Zero deals himself 2 fire damage. If he takes damage this way, search your deck for an ongoing card and put it into play, shuffle your deck. Holy, getting set up as fast as possible, Batman. This is something that I dig. I've played it only once, but the one time I played it, I was like, this is awesome. So I'm very excited to play some Absolute Zero for you tonight. And John is playing, who's this? Let's see, Sky Scrapper?
Scrapper,
Extremist. Interesting. That sounds like a pretty cool thing to do. And in honor of the letters page, I think we said we're going to go against Spite tonight.
Yeah. And I will bring Fanatic in honor of One Deck Dungeon Digital.
Yes, the One Deck Dungeon Digital. Yeah, and actually, so one of the things that I did in my conversation with Christopher about bringing Fanatic over, one of the things he did specifically say is draw inspiration for the One Deck Dungeon version of Fanatic from all the different Fanatics. It doesn't need to be canonical regular Fanatic. It doesn't need to be Redeemer. It doesn't need to be either of the Prime Wardens. You know, let this be her own thing. She is a Dispiration book. That is how she is getting herself into One Deck Dungeon. So she may be a Fanatic that is some amalgam of the ones you've seen. She may play very differently than you might be expecting. We haven't worked that all out yet, but if we can get to that stretch goal, we will.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see here. Let's see, what's thematic for something that's chilly and extreme? Well, if something's going to be extreme, then maybe we can just unleash it. That seems like a good way to go.
Cool.
All right, and environmentally, I wonder if there's an environment we've never played Spite. Ooh,
we've probably never played Spite many times in streams, so most of them.
Yeah, I like this idea of Court of Blood with Spite because Spite is so.
Oh, then he won't be able to heal, maybe.
Oh yeah. All right, I wasn't even thinking about mechanically. I was more thinking thematically, but this works for me. All right, boom. Someone asked in chat, will skyscraper sizes be exchangeable like the Sentinels? If you're asking about playing like non-extremist skyscrapers with extremist skyscrapers and mixing and matching them, I'm guessing the answer to that is no. Correct, John?
The answer is no.
Yeah,
they have different hit points.
Yeah, they have different hit points, and mechanically that would just be that would be really frustrating for us to program. So sorry.
Her sizes within the variant are exchangeable. That is her mechanic.
Yes. Hello, friends. Come, let us get to know each other better. Stay frosty, everyone. No matter how bad things are, we still gotta take down this villain.
Nematone says, oh boy, it's the one-shot. Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Different. All different heroes, different villain, not advanced or challenge. Yeah.
All right, so Absolute Zero starts with a Horfire, Impale, Isothermic Transducer, and Modular Realignment. Extremist Skyscraper has got Emergency Evac, Neutralizing Resonator, Rest and Recover, and Undetectable Relinking. Visionary Unleashed has got Demoralization, Mind Spike, Psychic Maelstrom, and Rest the Mind. And Fanatic, it looks like Redeemer Fanatic, has got Holy Nova, Sanctifying Strike, Smite the Transgressor, and Zealous Offense. She is a
Nematone says Visionary. She's in the one-shot. No. Visionary Unleashed is not in the one-shot. No.
All right, so Safe House comes out. We get an Innocent Bystander, and now a Forced Entry.
Poor innocent bystander.
As so often happens to the innocent bystanders, they're gone. All right, so do you want Spike to deal... Oh, yeah, so what is this? The Lost Child. If they take damage this way, put the card under the safe house. All right, so what is our strategy for Spite this game?
Kill Spite and win the game.
All right, are we trying to do any of shenanigans with the safe house, or...
I mean, putting things in the safe house is fine. Now's good to take the damage because he is at max HP. Order won't matter.
All right. All right. So, again, I'll remind everybody of the new power here, Pilot Light. I get to deal myself 2 fire damage, and if I take damage this way, search my deck for an ongoing card and put it into play, and then shuffle my deck. So, I'm going to start with my Isothermic Transducer. Then I'm going to hit myself for some fire damage, and I'm going to hit Spite with that cold damage.
He doesn't have any drugs out yet, so we could try piling on damage.
Yeah.
Maybe he won't heal much.
And let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with... Do I have... I don't have that. That's equipment, not ongoing. His modules and his thing that boosts cold damage, which I can't think of the name of right now. But yeah, Impale is definitely a good one. I got a second Impale in hand. And a number of other ongoings that I can play.
Cool. So Extremist Skyscraper has different powers, which we'll get to when we decide to use a power. Looks like, actually, yeah, I could go with Neutralizing Resonator, but actually we don't like, if we're not necessarily planning to get the drugs out, I don't want to do that right now. So I'm just going to skip playing a card and draw 2 cards. Play a link. My power is play a link or move a link from the trash to the hand. Play the bottom card of your deck. So I only have 1 link anyways, and yeah, I'm just gonna draw 2 cards this turn. Get some more options. There we go. Colossal Left Hook. Another relinking.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Mind Spike. Well, I guess, let's see. I do have some ongoings I can play. The Rest of the Mind is not super useful, at least not yet.
You can't play Rest of the Mind right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is like it's not useful yet. It might be if the environment starts getting some targets out.
Yeah, Demoralization's an ongoing that will do damage.
Yeah, so that's fine. I'll do Demoralization and then deal some damage myself. I was just going to Mind Spike, but I think this will pay more dividends as the game goes on. Oh, sorry, Nova Kid Blaster said the game just vibrate when John said he'd skip. No, that was actually me moving the window, and Game Show was trying to keep up with me moving the window. It was not a new feature or anything like that. End of days.
I'd like to be dealing damage, but we just haven't gotten the cards to do that.
You got to play what you're dealt. Non-vampire targets cannot regain HP. Excellent.
Let's keep that around and just do a whole lot of infernal damage. He does infernal, but you might be able to get Twist the Ether on him and then make him do radiant.
Another innocent bystander.
Yeah, he can't heal when he does that.
Do I want to discard 2 cards? I actually might.
If you want, Fanatic has lots of cards to discard, so does Skyscraper.
Okay, yeah, so I don't think I'm going to use Thermal Shockwave because he's not a target-rich villain. And I don't need that modular realignment right now, although I might later. So yeah, I'll skip this, and then maybe one of your people can do it.
Thermal Shockwave's still good because you can hit yourself for one of them.
That's true. I can definitely hit myself for one. All right. I think... Yeah, I think I'm just going to double impale him.
Yep.
And then hit myself so that I can hit him. And I mean, Cold Snap's not bad. Let's see what the other options are here.
Yeah, I'd probably start with Cold Snap because just keep getting more.
Yeah, just piling on
on
the damage is awesome. This is Absolute Zero's worst environment, says BJet007.
Right, you won't be able to heal as well.
Right, yeah.
So if I do go to large and just use my power... oh, hey, that button's not working. Oh, now it's working. That was weird. Destroy an environment card. Yeah, I would deal each target 2 damage if I blew up down Handelabra, which I don't necessarily want to do. Yeah, I might just double skip again. I'll discard 2 cards because I can easily get them out of my trash. Just gonna double skip again because I don't want to blow up that environment card. There's a Compulsion Canister. That's a little better.
All right. Yeah, still don't have anything to rest the mind, and Suggestion I don't think would be super useful here.
I think it would be super useful here.
Oh yeah, all right. Let me look at what's in the trash.
Well, just make him play something that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He does play another card, but you could play like On the Prowl or something, like something that's going to get another victim out, or that sort of thing, or just another victim.
All right, we'll do that. All right, so put that on the bottom, and we'll put on. Yeah, do we want to do On the Prowl, or do we want to get one of these other victims?
Doesn't matter.
Let's see.
I'd probably put On the Prowl.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because then it will reshuffle, and that other victim might come up to the top. Oh, but you put Forced Entry. Well, that's not good. I wouldn't have put that back in his deck.
Oh. Well, Spite will have flipped before you get to those bottom deck cards. Says.
Not if he reshuffles his deck.
Yeah, not if he reshuffles.
Which he will. Does anyone have a second power they're going to want to use? I guess Absolute Zero could fish out Coolant Blast and use it.
True.
So shall I embolden you?
Sure.
It'll only work once because I can't deal radiant damage, but still a good trick. Now I can't get hit points. That's fine. Still have lots.
Dame Katarina!
There, you can rest the mind on her.
Yes, definitely. All right, On the Prowl comes out. No victims. There's a bystander, potential sidekick.
Hey, potential sidekick. That's good. Draw lots of cards.
Double impaling. And cold snapping.
Yeah, just 5 damage every round. Yeah, we want to keep the sidekick around. Actually, I would leave the other victim too. Like, you want to leave a buffer for the sidekick to stick around. Because that card draw is great. Just unless we want to like be heroic, I guess. I don't know. Spite shouldn't have a mechanic that makes us want to leave victims out.
Yeah.
We want to be heroic.
All right, yeah. So I can't heal. Not sure I'm ready for the Blaze of Glory just yet. Yeah, I was thinking about just playing that and not using it yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I get to get another ongoing out anyway, so...
Yeah, at least if you get your null point, you won't heal, but you'll stop yourself from hurting yourself.
That's true, yeah.
So there's some...
There are cards that cannot be played.
Yeah, that's a weird message. But yeah. Yeah, if you go with Cold Blast, you can just shoot fire right away, so...
Yeah, how much is it? 2 fire damage. Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll say yes, but I can't.
Wah, wah.
Just not feeling the radiation. I don't want to discard. Oh yeah, I want to play all these tiny cards now. Maybe I'll go with Linking Incursion to start. And so the Hyperstimulator, let's put that next to Spite. And yeah, the Resonator, actually don't want to play it right now when we have no drugs.
Yeah.
Like having no drug, we were trying to get to a state of having more drugs. That's one thing, but we'll be ready for that. I'll switch back to normal for now.
So because I've been away for 2 weeks, you guys have missed all my commentary on various things, and I wanted to talk about. Hang on one second. This past Saturday night, I had a really good time. I took my son to see The Legend of Zelda: Symphony of the Goddesses, which was basically
Can you play your turn while you talk about this?
Oh, sorry. Do I want to discard 2 cards? I do not. And no, I don't want to do that either. Alright, so I'm going to rest the mind on Dame Katarina, which is another ongoing, so I get to deal more damage.
Jake Walker says, no, John, he cannot.
I can't. I have to stop doing one thing and do the other thing.
Alright, now it's not your turn.
So anyways, this past Saturday night, I took my son to see The Legend of Zelda: Symphony of the Goddesses, which, for those, for the uninitiated, is basically a symphony orchestra playing music from The Legend of Zelda while they play video from the games on a big screen over the stage. And it was awesome. If this is coming to your town and you have the ability to go see it, I highly recommend it. The way that they did it... was really, really cool. I don't know how they've done it in the past, but for this particular tour, what they're doing is they're basically playing suites or sort of, not melodies, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, combinations of several songs from each game, and sort of like, you know, melding from one to the next. And then they'll sort of like, you know, each song sort of finishes, and it's like, and then that was... A Link Between Worlds. Medleys! Thank you! Thank you, Mind Wanderer. My mind was wandering, and I could not think of the word medley for some reason. But that's exactly what it was, and it was so cool. Not just because I got to remember, you know, playing a lot of those Zelda games myself, but because, like, the moment when A Link Between Worlds came up, and my son was like, oh, this is the one that I'm playing right now! He was so excited, and, like, I could tell that he recognized the songs, and he recognized the, you know, like, the part of the game that it was from and everything, and it was such a good time. If you have the opportunity to go see it, go see it. It was so cool.
Mimatone asks, the question has been raised, can you unlock a variant while using it in a one-shot? If you meet the conditions of variant, it doesn't matter whether it's a one-shot or not. That's unrelated. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm guessing the question has to do with, like, is one... Here's the way I parse that. Is a condition of unlocking the variant that you're not currently using that variant? And the answer to that is no. If you're using that variant,
it 100% depends on the condition.
It depends on the condition, but that is not a blanket condition for all variants. Like if a variant is, if an unlock condition is like you must be using base level Tachyon and you're using super scientific Tachyon, you can't unlock super scientific Tachyon that way. But for instance, I'm using this example because
it has nothing to do with the one shot though.
Right. Yeah.
That's
so like
asking about.
Yeah, so going back to using, because this is like the most basic one, the unlocking super scientific Tachyon is basically just playing a bunch of cards as Tachyon. The condition says Tachyon, and if it says Tachyon, it just means any Tachyon, must play 5 cards in a single turn, and that unlocks super scientific Tachyon. If there was a one-shot that had super scientific Tachyon, and you did that with her, you would then unlock her. There are other ones that are like, you must be playing non-variant Argent Adept or non-variant Haka or something like that. I'm just picking ones out of the air. I don't know if any of those are correct, but there are some that require a specific variant, and therefore you must do that. But those are unrelated to whether it's in a one-shot or whether or not you're sort of constrained with regards to which variant you're using. So.
All right, you done?
I'm done. And I'm taking a victory sip.
Mimaton asks, is his power considered for the selfish part of his unlock? It is not, but it's supposed to be. That'll be fixed. All right, we should get rid of these victims now because they're going to be destroyed.
Okay, I can do that. I can. Well, let's see. Do I want to discard 2 or 1 or 3? Excuse me.
Yeah, you could discard your equipments and use modular realignment to get to play it. So
yeah. Let's see here. So I'm going to discard 2. Yeah.
Someone else can discard the 3.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll discard this and this. And then I will not do that, but I will do... Oh, I see. That card went away. Oh, good. I don't have a problem with that. So we'll put that in play. And isothermic. Do I want to hit myself with this? What am I going to do for thermal shockwaves? Dealt 3 cold damage this turn. 1 fire damage. And I have 11 HP. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Good. All right, so now 3 targets, 1 cold damage. By absolute 0. All right.
Yeah, your base power sort of becomes less useful later on. With that, but I mean, just like any absolute 0, really, you end up using your other things.
All right, so I'm gonna do that. And I hit myself for 4, and then I will hit him with this. And I'm only at 10, but I've got some ability to or I guess 8, and I've got some ability to get some things back, so that's fine. Get some HPs back.
Yeah, and he's got 3 of his drugs out, 4 of his drugs out, and I can make him get more likely to get another one, I think, by discarding. And you can do Twist the Ether on him, which would be super handy. Does Skyscraper want to discard 3 cards? I probably could. I'll do that. I'm gonna... Yeah, I actually can play both. I can play that Resonator from my hand. I can get the other one from my trash for next turn, so... We'll see if I get lucky here. Nope.
So this was posted early in the chat, but for anybody who is just arrived, There's a really cool feature on us at Pixelated Cardboard. They did some question and answer with me and John to go over.
This is great.
Oh, go ahead.
I can undetectively relink and play another 2 copies of that card.
Nice. Some Q&A about the history of Handelabra, as well as sort of what our future looks like with things like One Deck Dungeon. So if you're interested, go check that out.
It was not. Unfortunately, I discarded a lab raid, but oh well. Yeah, it was a good interview. They sent us lots of good questions, so.
All right, we're going to twist Spite's Ether.
I like it. And so if you hit him, he's going to hit you back and discard cards, but just so you know. He's going to actually heal back the same amount of damage.
The same amount? Oh, shoot. Okay. I was trying to do the math.
There's no point to hitting him.
Yeah.
He's just going to be at the same hit. Well, he'll be net by 1.
Yeah, net 1.
So it's up to you if it's worth 3 hit points for you to.
Yeah, you know what? I'm fine for it.
Hit him for 1.
For 1. For now. Maybe I won't do it in future turns, but maybe that 1 HP will be what turns the game for us later.
Sure.
So one of my new favorite bands is a band called Unleash the Archers. If you guys aren't familiar with it, you should check them out. But they have a song. They're a concept band, so they tell stories in their albums. And their most recent album, called Apex, tells the story about this sort of female evil villain person who is very sort of matronly, almost like a matriarch. And they have a song literally called The Matriarch, which is awesome, and my daughters love it. But I particularly like it because I get to sing it, and every time I sing it, I imagine that they're talking about our matriarch. I'll link that in here as well if anybody's interested. It's a really good song.
Well, I would say yes, play the top card of the villain deck.
Okay.
Let's get those drugs out. There's the drug! Just in time. I'm going to skip here because the damage reduction.
The Blood Countess.
So he's going to flip. Blood Countess is the nemesis of Fanatic.
Yeah, so Unleash the Archers is not emo. They're actually, honestly, my best way to describe them is that they are a latter-day Iron Maiden. Her vocals are very Bruce Dickinson-y, and they're sort of, they do a lot of sort of old school thrash metal stuff, and they're awesome.
Increase this damage. He's doing 25 to himself. That's great.
Yeah, and there's nothing boosting anything interesting.
No.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Whoa! Look at all those HPs disappear.
And we can return a card to hand. Is there anything? I mean, I may as well return the links because they're not. They're going to be boosting my damage to them, I guess. That's good. But I don't know if there's. Is there anything that Absolute Zero doesn't want? Like Coolant Blast?
Yeah, I mean, I can get rid of Coolant Blast. I'm not going to use it. That's fine.
And you'll probably play like Frostbound Drain or something, or Horfire, I guess, I imagine, right? So you don't want to remove anything else. I'll take back a Neutralizing Resonator. That's fine.
Yeah, Nova Kid Blaster says, so compared to Coheed and Cambria, more rock metal, like absolutely more rock metal. Like Coheed and Cambria is prog rock, and occasionally they veer into prog metal. These guys are metal, straight up metal, period. Thrash metal mostly. A little bit of prog stuff going on.
I think these are just straight up produce. When he goes to hit Absolute Zero, though, you can do more interesting things.
You know who CNC are. I love you a little bit more. You clearly have not been following me on Twitter for very long. Check out my Twitter feed to find out when Christopher flew to Cleveland just to go see Coheed and Cambria with me.
And you do talk about them on the stream
I
the
do.
time.
They're one of my favorite bands, for sure.
Lou Dolphin went to the bathroom and suddenly drugs. I mean, stay in school, Lou Dolphin. Don't do drugs.
It must be Tuesday.
All right, episode 0, give him cold or fire as you wish.
Yeah, I don't have my thing that boosts cold, so I think I'll just go straight to cold and
increase.
Heal. Good.
And then the reducey for everyone else. The ultimate question from Novacade Blaster.
Oh boy, here we go.
The answer
may shock you.
42. She wants to know what is the best album and song, in your opinion, from Coheed and Cambria.
Well, I can't speak completely impartially, but I can tell you what some of my favorites are. One of my all-time favorite songs by them is probably Never Ender from Second Stage Turbine Blade.
Why did you choose melee damage?
Oh.
Whatever. We're not rewinding all that.
Okay. I wasn't even paying attention. I was just sort of picking
and that's why we
reducing.
Specifically picked episode 0 first, so that you would pay attention.
Oh.
But it's fine. Carry on your story.
People are asking me things.
No more story?
I didn't realize that there was... I thought that I had already finished with Absolute Zero. And ironically, just to continue answering Nova Kid Blaster, I think my all-time favorite song by them is not in the concept. It's from the latest album, and it's a song called Atlas, and it's because it's about his son. And that is probably my favorite, because I have a son, and it makes me think of him when I listen to that song. In fact, when I met... Coheed and Cambria, and I met Claudio, that's what I told him. I said, I think what you've done on this new album is amazing, and your song Atlas always makes me think of my son, and it's so awesome.
All right, do your thing and we'll win the game.
All right.
I mean, pretty much just Fanatic needs to go.
Hey, Chichungi, thanks for subscribing.
Chichungi.
Chichunga.
Lou Dolphin says, lesson learned, never give Jeremy Visionary. I didn't give him Visionary. He chose it, like, on his own.
I did.
I like Agent Panic says, CNC Music Factory. That's right. Pump up the jam. That's my favorite. It's my favorite CNC.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, what?
I can't use Thermal Shockwave to, like, do a blast because I'll kill myself.
Can't you?
Oh, wait, yes, I guess if I just heal myself with it, I'll be okay. Right?
Correct.
Am I doing that math right? Okay, good.
Doing it right. Before your eyes.
Alright, so stop dealing damage.
You didn't stop.
Wait! What happened? Oh, I swear I hit the right thing. I was thinking a step ahead.
You hit the wrong thing. Just hit Fanatic. It'll be fine.
Wait, what? Hit Fanatic? Oh.
Fanatic.
Alright.
Going out in a blaze of glory.
Alright.
Continue music references. Oh, wow, that looks cool. I haven't seen that yet. It's flipped artwork.
There's nowhere else on Twitch that I can get Sentinels gameplay and great music recommendations. Well, that is what we are here for.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah, that Absolute Zero art. What? So good.
I'm going to place this next to Fanatic. She is compelled. The power of Skyscraper compels her. As you wish.
Okay.
That is like real frosty looking maps. Like it's the most cold looking Absolute Zero artwork, I think. Except he's really hot because his thing is cracked and he's on fire. But you know, it's opposite day. Can you win before Fanatic? I don't think so.
Yeah, let's see.
You have 3 for Mind Spike and...
I have 2 ongoings in play. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a way to hack it, so we'll just do this.
There's a video clip on the chat. Jeremy hit the wrong thing. Save forever.
Thanks. No, seriously. I'm so excited.
All right, I think Fanatic can do this. But she needs to divinely focus just a little bit more.
She needs to focus on how she's going to get back to the multiverse from the dungeon.
She cracked her visor, but she's ready to roll. Because she says to Spite, "You have been judged and found sorely wanting. Perish."
Blue Dolphin, there is absolutely a Handelabra Discord.
There's almost nobody on it.
Yeah.
But it exists. We should probably do more with it, but we're busy.
We got so much things.
I'll put a link to it in the chat. Spite is at 0 and Spite is down with all his weird bubbles. Wow, I went to discordapp.com and it's like a weird no CSS version. That's cool. Looks great. Good job. How about you load your CSS now? Maybe not. Okay. Maybe someone else can, the other person who is in Handelabra Discord can post a link. There's one other person. When their CSS decides to serve, then I can actually get to it, but I don't know. I guess there's a login button. Maybe that's the one.
Can you not go more than a certain time back on Twitter? I thought that, like, that's annoying.
Yeah, Twitter has that's a thing.
Oh well, I was trying to find the picture when Christopher and I went to see Coheed and Cambria, but it was from last October, so I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then it just stopped.
Oh, Darren 2500 and Selfaria are on there. Oh, now there's people talking. Yeah, there's a link. Thanks, Selfaria, in the chat. And I guess I can post it as well. Well, in case people are looking for it. For me, just look at what Selfaria said. Up there. Oop.
Oh, and now my watch is buzzing that people are talking about us in our Discord.
Well, you don't have to have notifications on.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's like I didn't notice
Right.
I had notifications on because there's so little activity in our.
There's like the number of people on it has like quadrupled in the last second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll use it more and more as we have more products, I think. So it'll be a place to talk about any and all things Handelabra, including, if you want, the Drano app.
Oh boy.
Which Aaron mentioned earlier. It still exists, but it's not iOS 11 compatible, so it's going to go into the dark night whenever Apple decides. I'm shocked that Apple hasn't removed from the store, actually.
Yes, I concur.
Like, I have apps that have been updated like in the last 2 years that Apple is like, this is going down unless you update it. Like, come on, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Wager Master. I guess we never played Wager Master on Wager Master Week. You weren't here, but we never played them.
Yeah, we can play Wager Master. I'm just hitting randomize over and over again.
Let's do Wager Master.
All right. Villains. Wager
Oh, we
Master!
did do Freedom 5 Wraith last week too, I think, because Zach was giving out the card draws, maybe. Oh no, maybe that might have been on the tabletop version. I can't remember.
Ah.
I'm gonna pick the Sentinels as a defense against the Wagelings.
Aha.
And
Let's see. Sure. Scholar of the Infinite. Why not?
Freedom 5 Bunker.
Ho 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 ho! All right, so let's take a look at that. Freedom 5 Bunker. Tactical uplink. Power. Reveal and replace the top card of each hero deck. If you reveal a mode, put it into play. Another player may put the top card of their deck into play. We did Wraith last week, says Lou Dolphin.
We did, okay. Take Walker. I did not say Spite's weird buttholes. It was weird bubbles. Bubbles.
Bubbles. Right.
With 4 heroes, it's pretty unlikely for a windring setup, but it is possible. And you have to have the right even or odd hit points.
It's time to play some games. Can you win before you all die? So fun. I see through you. Your weaknesses are all too visible. All right, so Parse opens with extrasensory awareness, quick calculation, recompile, and syntactic analysis. There's those Sentinels. The Sentinels open with Aura of Vision, Fling into Darkness, Horrifying Dichotomy, and Team Communication. The Scholar of the Infinite has got a couple fleshes to iron, flesh to irons, a Grace Under Fire, and he knows when to hold fast. And Bunker, new Bunker, caffeine-free Bunker, has got Adhesive Foam Grenade, Decommissioned Hardware, and Recharge Mode. Freedom 5 Tachyon is the only one left to be seen on the stream. I guess we'll have to hold on to her for next week. All right, let's see what Rager Master gets. We got Losing to the Odds. Who are you fighting? All right, so we draw some cards here. Possible Shot. Sentinel Tactics. Get out of the way. And another mode for Bunker. Everybody's healing up. Not all he seems. An unwise wager.
All right, so we're all going to deal ourselves 4 damage. Yeah, did you listen to Wager Master's episode?
I did.
About including how Wager Master and Oblivion are basically the same power level.
Mm-hmm.
But Oblivion has motivation in life.
Yeah, I really enjoy the sort of discussion of the mechanics of how the universe or the multiverse is set up, and the fact that Wager Master, like, every other character is like there's multiples of them in multiple of the universes, but the Wager Master is just Wager Master. Like,
yeah,
he is a singular entity, and that is such an interesting thing.
All right, we can discard 1 card from their deck. Guess I'm controlling you, so sure.
Oh, am I? Oh, I'm away. Okay.
All right, so yeah, you're still AFK.
Yeah.
If we reduce them to 0 hit points, we lose. If we have even but less than maximum, we win at the end of the villain turn. And if there's no cards in the villain deck, the heroes win. So we can try to win by losing to the odds, potentially. We would need to get Scholar to even and Medico and Idealist to even. And hopefully not take odd damage. Worth a try.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have Hippocratic Oath, but I can do it on 1. And get out of the way would actually let you regain 1 hit point. So, or you could just deal yourself an odd amount of damage also. That's another thing.
So with Parse, like, would something like Extrasensory Awareness be my best choice here, if that's what we're going for? So that I'm not dealing damage or dealing with any sort of issues?
Oh yeah, I guess Extrasensory is good because you can control what he does so he doesn't deal us damage.
Exactly.
Sure.
Alright, let's give that a shot. Alright, so we've got the unanswerable question, a burning sense of failure, and pick a card, pick a fate.
Yeah, burning sense of failure is pretty innocuous.
Okay.
Oh, but this is the discard.
Yeah,
so discard, pick a card, pick a fate's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Unanswerable question is kind of bad too. So whichever of those.
Top of the deck, still burning sense of failure. Oh, but then do I want to shuffle? So I'll say no.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get team communication. If I get Hippocratic Oath, this will be a lot easier. Oh yeah, I will get it. That's good. Oh, it's in my hand. Well, I can use unique capabilities. May as well get Polygamist Farm. And then play Hippocratic. Or I'll play unique capabilities again. I probably shouldn't play that, but oh well, I did it. Hippocratic Oath. Then I can use Medico to get one thing to even the Idealist. 17 Lord points out, if you know what the top cards are, you can cheese, pick a card, pick a fate. That is true. And we will know what the top cards are from Bunker and stuff. So Medico is at even, and Scholar is at even, and Bunker is at even, and everyone's below full. So we just have to not take odd amount of damage, and we'll be fine.
All right.
Or gain odd amount of hit points. So do whatever else you want. Yeah, Mainstay might take odd damage. Potentially.
I'll just draw all the cards. And Trial of Fire.
And Trial of Fire, you say, oh, Bunker has an adhesive foam grenade. So the environment is not going to be bothering us.
Wah, wah.
And I'm just going to skip my power to make sure nothing happens. And that's going to be the Wager Master game. Surprise! A burning sense of failure. All right, what's the next game?
Yeah, what are we going to do next? So, yoink. So, yeah, a lot of comments about how cool the various Freedom 5 variants are looking. Adam actually really did outdo himself with these variants. He explicitly, like, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the art, which I'm assuming you have because, come on. But, like, most of the way that he's done variants of characters in the past is he sort of starts from the exact same pose and then just redraws their new costume over top of them. But he didn't do that with the Freedom 5 variants because these are sort of like the ultimate versions of these characters, and he wanted, so he explicitly was like, I'm gonna go completely new, poses, new, layouts. The costumes are all new, and so they all do just really look fantastic, and we're very excited about them. Hey, what a super cool bunker power! Good preview.
Yeah, we can have another game with Bunker here.
Yeah, why don't we'll do the exact same, why don't we do the same team and just with a different hero and different environment. So I was Parse and Scholar of the Infinite. And you were over here and that was there. Awesome. All right. So villain and environment.
Random.
Boink. The Dreamer in the Block. Interesting.
Sure.
Sold.
Lots of environment damage to protect her from.
I see through you. Your weaknesses are all too visible.
That's kind of mean to say to a child.
Yeah, especially a sleeping child. All right, we've got Gage.
Your weakness is that your 6-year-old who is sleeping. Good job, Parse. Good job figuring that out.
All right, Gage, Impossible Shot, Quick Calculation, Recompile. Dark Delusions, Good Hero, Bad Hero, Positive Energy, and Restorative Burst. Alchemical Redirection, Know When to Hold Fast, Transmutive Recovery, and Truth Seeker.
You have almost exactly the same hand as Parse. It's kind of interesting.
And Bunker, Adhesive Foam Grenade, Decommissioned Hardware, Grenade Launcher, and Heavy Plating. Little Kid in Prison, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
All right, so the Granite Oni. Grotesque Arachnoid. Toy Master, Tooth Fairy. Ugh, alright. Another Toy Master. What was before the Voyager Master game that just ended? We played against Spite at Court of Blood.
And we won.
And we were victorious.
We all have to discard a card. Yeah, I'm gonna probably not play a lot of things that deal each villain target damage, so... Gotta avoid area damage against the Dreamer, usually.
I don't want to get rid of any of these cards. They're all, like, awesome. Yeah, I guess this early I can get rid of... Oh, yeah? Alright, fair enough. It was either going to be that or Transmutive Recovery. Alright. What is our most important target? I mean, I can wipe Tooth Fairy off the board right away.
Yep, I take it, it's Tooth Fairy.
Yeah. Anything that saps our cards.
Well, you do have irreducible damage, so using that on the Granite Oni is good.
Yeah. Alright, that's fair enough. I'll do that.
Yeah, but we will get rid of...
Oh, and I've got to reveal the flaws. Okay, so that's good. Alright, so I'll use the rest of this to go after... I don't know, is anybody doing controllable area damage? Or should I try to take Tooth Fairy down to 1, or should I take the Toy Master down?
The Sentinels will kill the Tooth Fairy, don't bother with that.
Okay, so then I'll take one of these Toy Masters down to 3.
Sure.
Did you discuss the iPhone 10 and the Sentinels of the Multiverse app yet? If by discuss you mean internally, yes. If you mean on the stream, no. We have not discussed that.
We updated the app to work better on the iPhone 10, so congratulations.
Yes.
The new version, the main thing that it does, it fills the screen a little more, and it also has a status bar on.
Yeah, we don't actually have a test device yet, but we will by Monday.
We have a beta tester who has one.
Yeah. I'm very excited to get my iPhone 10 on Monday.
Anyone out there in Radio Land using an iPhone 10 with Sentinels? What do you think? Let's see. There's not a lot of damage happening right now, so I'm going to attack the bad guys.
Nova Kid Blaster says, asking now on behalf of this card, any ideas how Handelabra will approach Sentinels of the Earth Prime and the Cauldron? Sentinels of the Earth Prime, yes. That is something we've already had discussions with Green Ronin about. and it's something that we are very interested in doing. The Cauldron is an open question. I don't know how the Cauldron will ever make it to the video game if it does. We'd love for it to come to the video game, but how and when that might happen is a completely open question at this point.
Yeah, there are no plans for that.
Yeah. Let's see. What is his power again in the infinite? Scholar deals himself and one target X infernal damage, where X is the number of cards you've discarded since the end of your last turn, +1. And nobody's at only 2.
I mean, Truth Seeker is strictly better than that right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at Truth Seeker, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, do I do that, or should I hold fast and then just get a bunch of, just become lousy with cards? But I think, all right, so is a Toy Master down to 1 better than a second Toy Master down to 3? Or Arachnoid?
I don't know hitting the Toy Masters. I would hit the Arachnoid.
Arachnoid? All right.
We're not playing equipment cards, or not very many, so the Toy Masters aren't doing much.
Yeah, I usually, when it comes, and again, like, my strategy is very different than John's strategy. John's strategy comes from a deep, deep, deep understanding of every single card in the game. Mine comes from, here are things that I like to do. And one of the things I like to do is try and get the lower HP targets gone as quickly as possible, because it feels like those are easier to take care of than higher ones, but that's not always the case.
Sure, but if they're not doing anything...
No, that's fair.
Why bother? They're doing 1 damage, so... yeah, I'm going to play Heavy Plating and then use my base power. So here you go, the base power, Freedom 5 Bunker. Tactical Uplink. Reveal and replace the top card of each hero deck. If you reveal a mode, put it into play. Another player might put the top card of their deck into play. So let's do that. We'll look at everyone's deck.
So between the lines.
And it's good to remember what everyone has. Human Shield. Flesh to Iron, and Ammo Drop. And I can't choose myself. I think the most useful thing here is either Parse or the Scholar, because we could have... it wouldn't be able to finish off anyone, but we could get that Oni down to 1 hit point, which would be pretty good.
Yeah, so that was Between the Lines or Flesh to Iron are the 2 choices, right?
Yeah. They're your heroes, so you can pick what you prefer.
Yeah, I think Between the Lines is a better choice here.
And that will get the Scholar an extra card if you let him use the power.
All right.
PG Turambar said they played the previous version of Sentinels on the iPhone 10, which was not optimized for iPhone 10, but now it is.
Dark Hero.
That's bad. Well, at least he's attacking the imprisoned rogue instead of us. Zanelarander asks, why can't Freedom 5 Bunker choose himself?
Let's look at the card. Reveal and replace the top card of each hero deck. If you reveal a mode, put it into play. Another player may put the top card of their deck into play.
Another player, not Bunker.
All right.
Yeah, a Reveal the Clouds would be really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually my go-to with her, so...
Especially with that Dark Hero. Which we should destroy.
Yeah, I was going to aim for him first.
Yep.
All right, good.
So Dark Delusions would end up dealing the Dreamer 2 damage, but also 2 damage to everything else. I don't feel like we're at a point where we're that desperate, so I'm just going to not play a card because I would waste a lot of the healing of Restorative Burst. But the Idealist can deal a target 1/2 psychic damage. Yeah, if we can get things down to 2, 2, and 1, then Bunker can go his Grenade Launcher and clean things up a little bit. So let's do that.
Ooh, we got engine questions coming in. Does playing a mode that doesn't let you use powers cancel the rest of his power? My guess is no.
No.
No. Second question. If Guise uses Freedom 5 Bunker's power and it reveals a mode on Bunker's deck, does it get played?
If Guise uses Freedom 5 Bunker's power, then the power reads, reveal and replace the top card of each hero deck. If you reveal a mode, put it into play. Doesn't say where that mode is. Any deck. And then another player, other than Guise, may put the top card of their deck into play.
Yeah, so that's an interesting situation. So, like, you could potentially, that could reveal a mode on Bunker, and it would go into play, and then you could choose to have Bunker play the top card of his deck, and he won't know what it is. So that's interesting.
If he's allowed. Depends on the mode.
Yep.
It is your turn.
Yeah, I'm looking. All right, where are we at? We got 1, 4, 3, 5, and 1. I still
if you can chip that Arachnoid down to 2 health, then I can clean up 3 of the projections on my turn. Or the Toymaster, if you prefer. If you hit either one of those weakened ones.
Alright, well, I'm not going to do any of this healing. I mean, I guess Flesh to Iron isn't bad.
Oh yeah, Lou Dolphin playing that is put into play. I didn't. Jeremy had said play the card, but it is put into play.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll Flesh to Iron, and then I will Truth Seeker on the Arachnoid, yeah?
Yeah.
That takes it down to 2. I draw a Keep Moving! And another Flesh to Iron.
And I cleverly placed that grappling hook in my trash so I could get it back right now.
Grenade Launcher.
Grenade Launcher. What did I say?
Grappling hook.
I mean, it's basically...
like basically the same thing.
It's things that you're grappling on and exploding. Like, that's not what a grappling hook is.
Oh yeah, I see people talking about Oblivion. Pretty cool information coming out from the Oblivion Kickstarter that things are finishing up, and we've got some actual information about how shipping is going to work. Very exciting.
Yeah, they're going to be doing it by backer number. My backer number is like 3,000 something, or I don't even know. It's and that's like backing on the first day.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a Kickstarter that went absolutely nuts. I think they were at 500,000 24 hours in or something like that.
Yeah, and there's like 10,000 backers. And we get another Arachnoid came out, but at least there's no damage reduction anymore. So let us destroy these projections. The Time Crazed Prisoner right now isn't doing anything, so I mean, he'll do 1 damage. So not too worried about that.
Alright, I'm just going to do this. I'm sure somebody would tell me that there's all kinds of really great things I could have done with those cards that I had, but I'm still learning Parse, and so I'm just going to get a lot more things.
Calculation would have been really good, but Recompile gets you 6 cards, so it's also good.
Yep. Alright, so I see another Grotesque Arachnoid has come out. So I will hit that.
And I still don't really want to play these cards, so I'm just going to skip and keep. Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to be able to get rid of all of these, are we? Scholar only has 2 damage. Most likely. I guess you could keep moving and do a little bit more. like another 2 damage, so like 4. And then Bunker, yeah, without causing herself trouble, we're probably not going to flip her. I'll want to have block up for when she flips, but for now, we'll not do that.
What's the easiest way to find out what your backer number is for something?
Go to the Kickstarter page and click My Pledge.
Oh, View Pledge, I see.
It's at the bottom.
Backer number 1407.
You were
Not
quick
bad.
on the draw.
Not too bad. All right. Yeah, I'll get rid of the other fleshed iron to power that fleshed iron, and then I think. All right. If I keep moving, I get to play an elemental and play another card. So I think,
that's how you could do some extra damage.
yeah, so I think I'm going to do that. And then get my mortal form to energy. And then transmute a recovery.
Yeah, so if you chip 1 Toymaster down and the Arachnoid down to 2, I can kill them both with Grenade Launcher. Yeah, we're pretty close to destroying all the protections, but not quite.
Yeah, so either one of these are going to do the same amount of damage, but I also get a card if I do this one, so...
Okay, we
wait.
just won't destroy those then.
Wait, you wanted me to... Okay, sorry.
I want you to make them so that I can destroy them.
Alright, hang on. So you want me to...
Weaken the Toymaster so I can kill it.
The one that's already lower?
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Grenade Launcher only does 2 damage.
Alright. Alright, there we go.
Alright, let's go ammo drop. And draw some more cards.
Backer number 3 for the season 2. Awesome.
Nice. And I'll hit the other Toymaster. So unless she plays a whole bunch of projections, we should be able to get her to flip and start waking her up. Yeah, and Beambatone says they're part of a group backing it. Before, in previous Kickstarters, we'd done a group shipping, and I think I received the Wrath of the Cosmos one, and it was an enormous box of stuff. And I think John Mark got the Villains of the Multiverse one, maybe. But they did, there was no benefit for group shipping in the Oblivion Kickstarter. It was the same price. So yeah. We just did individual orders for that.
Whippacorn goes after Scholar. No joy. Whoops.
Well, the environment is going a little nuts.
Yeah, there's a bit of a prison break. All right, let's see here.
We might want to try to take care of some of these environment cards. Actually, I guess if the Scholar plays Alchemical Redirection, you can protect the Dreamer and us from Char's damage. Not like all the damage, but like you'll take a bunch from the Time Crazed prisoners, but you should survive.
Right.
We could also try to kill them, but I think the higher priority is to kill the projections if we can. I don't know.
Yeah.
You've got data mining if you just want to blow one up, too.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. So I've got data mining. card deals the non-inmate.
Yeah, there's 2 imprisoned rogues, so the environment's all +2. Like, Char's gonna do 4 and 4. We probably have to kill Char, or it's terrifying.
So should I data mine Char?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Just like he's got so many hit points, and no one else can straight up destroy him. So that's too much even for the Scholar.
Yeah.
You would be taking like 4 damage for each hero target, and for the Dreamer. So yeah, the Scholar would probably die. Unless you had another Flesh to Iron out, which I don't think you can do both of those things.
Yeah, and
or
I
expect
just...
the worst. You can't play both cards.
Yeah. All right, so are we trying to mitigate the environment some more with this 2 damage here, or should I keep going after like the whip?
I would say, yeah, get rid of the. We'll try to get the environment, or try to get the projections gone. So,
right.
Yeah, so we should be able to clear the projections. The time crazed prisoners are each going to be doing 7 damage to the highest, to the second highest, which right now is Bunker. But we could organize it to be the Scholar if we want. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we could probably just kill the time crazed prisoners. Like, now would be a fine time to play Dark Delusions. The Dreamer would take 2 damage, but we'd be able to kill the prisoners, which seems okay to me. Or Blackout, for that matter.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we're not playing on challenge, so...
Yeah. Dark Delusions does a little more damage, so I'm going to do that. Oh, Dark Delusions only hits villain targets. Yeah, let's rewind. I didn't read that right. I want Blackout then. Because I want to hit the environment targets. So I'll hit the... let's have Writhe deal the damage. And we will hit... None of us have a damage boost, do we? No. Then we do more damage. We'll hit the Whippocorn. And then the Whippocorn hits everything else. Read what the card says, John. Yes, yes, Mark. I did. And I'm going to block now because she's going to flip and do a bunch of damage. The prisoners do have 2 damage boosts, in fact. Oh, that's right. I could have hit... No, but I could hit... 17th Lord says I could hit an environment target for +2. Oh, yeah, but then they would hit the Dreamer for more, but they would actually... Yeah, that's a really good idea. Let's go back to play a card for the Sentinels, because I can choose the ordering so that they destroy themselves before they kill the Dreamer. That's clever. Clever girl. So if I hit the imprisoned rogue here, it's going to deal 4 damage. Yeah, that's smart. Thanks, 17th Lord. That's some strategy that we missed. But it's even better because we can make it kill itself. 17th Lord is a dude. Thanks, dude.
Sup, dude?
So yeah, we'll just choose the order so that bad guys get all hit except for the Dreamer. Yeah, I should have saw that first. There's an opportunity to kill a target before it hits the Dreamer. But that is a learning moment. And now I'm going to do the block. So yeah, that's nice. That looks great. So basically, if you can take it the Whippocorn, then Bunker can do other stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually with 23 hit points. I'm gonna skip losing this flesh to iron, but I think I am gonna keep the.
She is gonna destroy ongoing cards when she flips 4 ongoing cards.
All right. So
but there's so if you, like
so there's no point in me keeping it.
There's no point in really keeping it unless you're planning to use it this turn for anything.
Which I'm not, so that's fine. All right, so we'll get rid of that. Are you gonna kill the whipcorn?
I could if needed.
I'm just wondering if I should just hold fast here and then just get lots of options for after she flips.
You could do that. I could use grenade launcher instead of my other thing.
Yeah, because you're going to lose the ammo drop, but you'll get to keep your other things. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Bring what you need. Get out of the way. Don't dismiss anything. Very dangerous in a Dreamer game, but it's one of my favorites.
Well, Maloko Dude, who I presume is a dude by their name, is the 9,963rd backer out of 9,982 backers. Almost the last.
You hung in to the last minute.
So Maloko Dude, how long was it before the end of the campaign? Like an hour or something before you backed? It's interesting. I guess I could stop the environment from playing a card. The environment only has 4 cards left. We'd have a block guard that's going to be attacking the Dreamer, Prison Riot that won't do anything, and the Warden that won't do anything. Yeah, I'm kind of okay to stop the environment this turn. And I will grenade launcher. All right, we are ready for the Dreamer to flip. I guess this would have been a good time for you to keep Flesh to Iron and... Oh no, she would have destroyed Flesh to Iron and then maybe a redirect, so it's... Yeah. Would have been good except for it being destroyed. Because we know that damage is going to come, but...
Alright, so we got a Spectre.
That's easy to kill.
And what do we got? We get 8 under her, right?
Yeah.
And an Ape. And a Tooth Fairy.
Easy. All easy to kill.
Yeah, lots of low HP targets here.
Leo 981 is backer number 375. Who's the lowest number that we have in the chat here tonight? Did someone else? Oh, Dark Roy Dante was 340. I don't remember if anyone else posted anything lower.
I'm actually going to keep those extra sensory awarenesses.
I'm going to get my backer number. Kickstarter! I have to discard a card. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use that.
Kickstarter website is automatically playing video and slowing my computer down. Stop that. Yeah, I'm not gonna probably need Omnican in this game.
17th Lord says, are you guys going to get a copy in the first batch so you can start programming? We already have all of the game text.
We don't have the artwork yet.
We don't have the artwork yet, but we can get it.
But we get that in digital format. We don't need...
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need a copy of the game to start programming.
Correct.
My backer number is 3,523. And I sent one message, which was not answered, sadly. My message was, will Christopher read the names to a duck? I think he probably saw that and was like, whatever, John.
All right, I'm taking out the ape because I hate.
He didn't
the ape.
end up reading them to a duck. 17th Lord, your name is androgynous. 17th Lord doesn't really specify anything. So, I mean, you are the 17th, and you are the Lord. We could just call you Lord if you prefer. Destroy your cards. Stop destroying my cards. And keep the grenade launcher. Punch.
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 The scorpion in every collector's box. Yes, indeed.
Actually, my message was about Penny Arcade did a Kickstarter where Mike followed a duck around for like 3 hours reading names to it. Like that was a backer level to read your name to a duck. And so there's a video of Mike from Penny Arcade doing that.
Yeah, as much as I love Don't Dismiss Anything, I'm definitely not playing that here.
I don't think that's a good idea. Leo9981 has subscribed for 6 months in a row.
What?
And wants to know, are there any news on the social goals for DODD?
Oh, there's not. It's probably getting pretty close to 500 because there's been a lot of activity the last 2 days. I'm going to check it tomorrow morning, so keep an eye on that. I will let you know.
Cool.
Tomorrow AM how we're doing on the social goal. Yeah, I just don't know what I want to do here.
You could just like draw more cards.
Yeah, I could. And I will.
There, Proverbs
and
and
Axioms. Nice. Okay. Keep moving. Meanwhile, I've drawn all my elementals, so
you have no one to turn loose, so you can kill the Dreamer with one giant damage. You win. I could just keep stopping the environment, but we do want to kill this Tooth Fairy, and you didn't do a single point of damage to it, so I can't do that. You could have done a point of damage, but you didn't.
I didn't. I was trying to make your life difficult. Deadlock PM says, are you guys looking forward to the programming you'll have to do to be able to do the stuff for the Oblivion fight? At least some of that work will be similar to what you need to do for completionist guys. We, with the exception of sort of like the decks that we already know, in terms of like, oh, there's 5 heroes and 5 environments coming. That's stuff that we have not quite broken ground on yet, but we're ready to. The stuff in terms of like actually breaking down, all right, what is an Oblivion fight going to look like? You know, how are those new mechanics going to work? We have not even begun work on those yet. Some things we have begun work on is Mini Pack 4 content, which we've shown you with Celestial Tribunal, but we've also done some of the preliminary work on the new heroes for Mini Pack 4. And then once that releases, we will be diving full on into Void Guard and all of the cool new Oblivion stuff. So to answer the question directly, are you guys looking forward to it? I don't program things, so John, are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it'll be a good challenge like Vengeance.
Yes.
Any preference of which of those cards? None of them will destroy the Tooth Fairy. I guess, well, the Sentinels one will, but it will also hit the Dreamer for 2 damage, so I think we can just avoid that.
Yeah, I totally should have been watching.
You totally weren't watching.
I was reading the chat and responding. That's what you do when you're live streaming.
Well, let's let Parse let the Sentinels use a power then.
All right.
And I'm just going to block again. Prison riot. Says nothing.
Nova Kid Blaster says, if we're just Q&Aing tonight, might as well get to know Jeremy more. Yeah, ever since you found out I like co-eating Cambria, you're just trying to find out everything about me, aren't you? How do I feel about Baron Blade? I love me some Baron Blade. Some Ivan Ramonot.
I do go into the Discord more often these days to chat with people there.
I've noticed that, actually. The last 3 times I've gone into the Discord to, like, post a thing, I've realized that you got there 10 minutes earlier and already posted it. So I'm like, oh, well, all right then.
All right, here's all the projections.
Yeah, look at all these projections. We got 3. Yeah, we've got all the projections we need on the table.
On the board?
On the board. So.
Oh, yeah. And area damage is okay as long as we don't kill the Dreamer.
Yeah.
Which of your million cards will you discard?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of that. Yeah, I guess I'm going to dismiss anything.
Mainstay is doing the block. Scholar cannot deal damage. Too bad.
Oh, that ape is so treacherous. All right, let's see here. No, we don't want to do that. Don't care about that.
Yeah, Discord is basically just like an instant messaging program. I'm not really sure why it's more popular than anything else, but it seems to have gained traction in the game space. It is basically just IRC, or Slack, or HipChat, or Instant Messenger, or Skype, or whatever.
All right, so who among the heroes has lots of cards that, if potentially revealed, could just deal a bunch of damage right away? If I just had, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The syntactic analysis sort of is telling me who to play, so I think I'm gonna do that.
All right, I'll play Dark Delusions. It's gonna hit the Dreamer, but that's okay. She's tough. She's a little girl.
They're kids. They're young. They bounce.
I can heal her if I need.
My favorite part of the music.
Part where you deal 2 damage.
Alright, who is my best target here?
Highest hit points so you can wipe them out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
And we can do the same trick here with Blackout, where Rise will deal the damage to the Whippicorn, which then hits other things and kills itself before hitting the Dreamer. And the Idealist can just deal damage.
Sorry, I'm doing a thing. Give me 2 seconds.
You can't deal damage, so you may as well just skip your turn.
All right. Where was I? All right. Boom.
And Bunker can stop the environment from doing whatever it will do and destroy those two, and that will be it. Man, we've made great use of Adhesive Foam Grenade this game. These 2 games. Are you going to be playing the Sentinel Comics RPG, Jeremy?
So I actually, at Gen Con this year, I sat in on a chunk of it. Jean-Marc was playing it. I did not get a chance to play it myself, but it is a thing that I very much want to do.
Well, it is going to be shipping at the end of this month.
Yep.
So get ready if you pre-ordered it.
I did not pre-order it, but I'm definitely, like, the problem with it is that I don't have enough people that would actually play it with me, that I could actually
Probably play it with your kids.
At some point, I think that is a thing that's going to happen. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I can tell by the wind music that is playing. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize that this was going to occlude the game when I put that window on there. I was trying to do it all stealthy, but I screwed it up.
What are you doing?
I was just bringing up the Kickstarter. So yeah, this is Twitch plays Sentinels RPG, indeed. So yeah, for those of you who are just joining us, we are running a Kickstarter now for our next project, and that is of course One Deck Dungeon. And the cool thing for people who are fans of Sentinels, let's go to this update here. Bloop, a Sentinel has joined your party. What?
Bloop.
That's right. Fanatic.
Should have had like a Fanatic card ready to put on here or something.
Yeah. Fanatic is coming to One Deck Dungeon if we can get to 30,000. Now, we're only a week in, and we're, like, on the cusp of funding. We're at 17,199. So, you know...
Whoop.
Whoa.
That's a box.
What was that? So, yeah, we're, like, more than 85% of the way to the funding goal here. And we know that a lot of you have already backed us, but if you haven't yet, what are you waiting for, folks? Come on, check it out. One Deck Dungeon is
pretty good.
Super fun.
Just tape it on there.
There you go. It is it's a cooperative dungeon crawl that feels like a roguelike as a deck of cards. It's super fun. You guys will love it. Yeah, check out the interview. Yes, thank you, Aaron. Check out the interview on Pixelated Cardboard. We linked to it a couple times here. If you check out our Twitter, you'll find it as well. We tell a little bit of the history of Handelabra, how we met the Sentinels folks, how we ended up making Sentinels as a thing, what we're doing next, obviously, which is One Deck Dungeon. Yeah, box farts, more deadly than silent ones, indeed. And I promise Nova Kid Blaster, at some point I'm going to find that picture of myself with Christopher and Cody and Cambria, and I will send that out so that you can see how cool that was. When we met Claudio and the whole band, it was really fun.
You all who play Sentinels, you know that Sentinels has great box farts. Don't be trying to deny it.
Don't you dare.
You get a big, heavy box, it's gonna fart.
There it is. All right, it is 8:45, and we could potentially play another game, but I think we're gonna call it a night. Please do.
We can take some questions.
We could take some questions, absolutely. If anyone has any questions.
The Kickstarter, One Deck Dungeon, Fanatic, whatever, Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah, I can actually, we can cover a couple of things we covered earlier. So, if you're wondering what the situation is with Fanatic in One Deck Dungeon, some of the things that Christopher has said is that as we are designing Fanatic, as she will appear in One Deck Dungeon, she does not need to, necessarily canonically represent an existing Fanatic. She can be an amalgam of all the existing Fanatics. She can be a little bit different. This is a Dispiration story. So what that means is that is a sort of non-canonical, flitter out into the multiverse where she's going to, head into the dungeon with some friends of hers, the warrior, the rogue, the archer, the mage, and try some different things. So what she's going to look like, how she's going to play is still very much up in the air. But we super want her to come to the game. So if you tell your friends, share it. There is a social goal that if we can get it shared 500 times, we will get you guys some free wallpapers that you can try out. So we will check that out hopefully soon. As I mentioned, we will check that in the morning and give you an update as to how many shares are still coming for that. And if there's any other questions, put them in the chat while we're doing that. Wait, don't we follow you at Handelabra Games? Yes, I haven't gotten to my outro role yet, so I will tell you when.
Someone was asking, will One Deck Dungeon fit in the collector's case? This is the size of One Deck Dungeon. It will definitely fit into your Ultimate Collector's case. It is about the size of like 3 iPhones.
Yeah, it is very teeny. It is teeny weeny.
That's the standard unit of measurement.
Yes, we should start measuring the size of things in One Deck Dungeons.
Are they looking at your Google Doc?
No, I turned it off. Oh, I guess I didn't turn it off. Man, see, this is the thing. I tried to do this all stealthy, and I keep screwing it up.
What is that thing that they were saying about? Seriously. That in the document?
Can we ask? It's just all they were looking at was my outro text of like how my script.
Are they still looking at it?
No, I turned it off.
I was just gonna put a funny picture in.
Can we ask who Redacted is, or is he not in the text you have? He, she, or it is in the text that we have. You can ask, but we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, we are not revealing secrets that are being kept by Good Games. That is not our place. That is not a thing we do.
So Balui asks, how did the process go of getting Fanatic into One Deck Dungeon? I'm absolutely fine to share that. So basically, we put One Deck Dungeon up, and almost immediately, people in the comments started saying, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had crossovers of this, that, and the third thing? And one of the things they mentioned was Sentinels. And so within the first 24 to 48 hours, I literally just messaged Christopher. We have a direct line to them in Slack because we work with them, weekly, if not daily sometimes. And I said, hey, the people in the comments on One Deck Dungeon are saying, would it be neat if Sentinels were to cross over? And I said, I know that you guys have done this before. If you haven't followed stuff from a year ago, the Dresden Files card game had a crossover where Raw is a playable promo. And so I said, I know you guys have done this before. What do you think? And he was like, let me think about it. And so the next morning, he had a conversation with Adam. So Christopher and Adam are sort of the two grand poobahs of the Sentinels lore, and they sort of decided, yes, this is the thing that we're willing to do. And they, I actually had given him some ideas. I'm like, well, Fanatic seems like a pretty easy fit. Expatriate seems like a little too modern. Like guns don't really seem like they're a thematic fit. The Wraith feels kind of like she already exists as the rogue, and then Parse is an archer, but they kind of already have an archer. So I don't know what their internal discussion was. But basically, he was like, me and Adam had a conversation. We decided that, yes, that's fine. We will do this. It can be Fanatic. Now you need to work out the business side of things with our business manager. So I did that, because obviously, there is question of royalties and characters and blah, blah, blah. So there's a financial side to it, too. But it's, one that is pretty simple because we obviously have been working with Greater Than Games for years now.
There's some mutual trust.
Yeah, there's some mutual trust there. And, Christopher was like, I think this is a great idea. Let's make it happen. And so it took us a few days to get things sort of prepped and ready before we actually made the public announcement. So we've actually known that this was going to happen since, I want to say Friday, maybe Thursday, but probably Friday of last week. And then we just sort of held on to it until we were ready to go. And then we announced it yesterday. So that is the process. I hope that answers your question, Balui.
Yeah. Speaking of Redacted, my favorite thing about that was someone I think it was on the Kickstarter post, was like, there's a picture of the book. I can tell by the pixels that it's really redacted. That's the real name of the Scion. It's redacted. I can tell by the pixels.
You
like,
can tell how
okay,
it is because of the way that it is.
You keep doing that. But Louis asks, are you doing anything different with this Kickstarter than your first? That's a good question.
Yeah, I'd say the main thing is that we are not including mobile this time around.
Yeah. We tried to include, we came up with what we thought was a good idea for including mobile players in the Sentinels one, which is, I think, more important for that because we already had a lot of mobile players that we wanted to do something for. And overall, I think that went well. There were definitely some loud complainers. And the complainers are always, as you know from the Oblivion Kickstarter, the complainers are way louder than the happy people because the happy people don't say anything. But there's a lot more of them and the complainers like to complain.
Yeah.
But overall, that worked pretty well, but we didn't see it working, in a way that would make sense for this Kickstarter. And as we've discussed a lot, there's not really any way to deliver apps or in-app purchases on mobile in a good way. So, and that's we also didn't do that on the original Kickstarter. We had like a discount period and stuff, if you recall.
Yeah, and actually, I do want to take a minute to address that real quick because I know, like, this is one of those situations where there are other companies out there that have done mobile Kickstarters and they have found ways to deliver, and that's fine. But I have spoken on the phone directly to someone from Apple who has told us in no uncertain terms that, like, if you want to try and do that, that's fine. I can't counsel you to do that because if we catch you doing that, you could get kicked off of the App Store. And ever since I had that conversation with someone from Apple, it's just not something we're willing to do. Like, it's not worth it to us to risk not only your money, like if you give us money and expect us to deliver a thing and then we can't, like that's terrible. But like our entire business exists on these stores and getting kicked off of one of them would be a huge problem for us.
Be like, oh, we can't do Sentinels on the App Store anymore because we broke the rules from Apple.
And
that's unacceptable. We're not gonna run that risk.
Exactly.
And it's a real risk. So
yeah, and that's why, when people come to us and say, oh yeah, but like Evolution did it, or any other games that I can't think of any of.
Evolution says they're going to do it, but they haven't done it yet, and they are running that risk of being banned from the App Store.
Exactly.
If they do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if they make it work, more power to them. And obviously, there have been many Kickstarters that have made it work, but not a single one of them, at least based on the phone conversation that I had with a real Apple employee, not a single one of them are doing what they're supposed to do in terms of the letter of the law of the App Store. Now,
and in the past, some developers have gotten separate agreements with Apple, right? And they have done it legitimately, but Apple isn't doing that anymore. Yeah. So that's one thing that makes it difficult to explain to people sometimes. It's like, this one did it, but it's like, yeah, because they had a special deal with Apple, and we don't, and we've asked them, and we can't.
Yeah, and interestingly, in that conversation that I had with Apple, they did say that they were actively trying to find a way to deal with this situation because they know that crowdfunding is huge, and it's a really great way to connect with your customers, and et cetera, et cetera. But by the time we were ready to do Season 2, they were like, sorry, we don't have anything for you. And at last we checked, they still didn't have a good way to do it, and so it was just... We're not going to take that risk. And and we say this in the frequently asked questions on the Kickstarter, why Steam, why first? Based on our experience with Sentinels, a game like this is going to sell better on Steam than it's going to sell on any mobile platform. And so the best way to guarantee that it comes to a mobile platform is for it to do well on Steam, because having it do really well on the best platform that it's going to sell on will give us the revenues to bring it to the other platforms. That's just simple economics. So
yeah, well, I think if we had launched the Kickstarter on mobile only, we would have just as many or more comments complaining about it not being on Steam.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't happen, so you don't see those. But you can see the people who are happy about Steam. There are 891 of them and counting. So
and counting, indeed.
You should join them. Help us fund. We're at 85%.
Yeah, and I think Sanvar, who is one of our all-time super awesome testers and Sentinel players, did some math. Basically, like with an extra 150 people, we're funded. And we had more than 2,800 people on the Sentinels Season 2 Kickstarter. The two One Deck Dungeon Kickstarters have had something like 3,000 and something like 4,800 backers, and we've only got 891 now. So there's still a lot of people out there, I think, that are either waiting to see or we haven't reached them yet. And we're very excited to get this game out to them and all their friends. So if you tell those people, get them involved, get them energized, we will fund this and then overfund it and get to some of these awesome stretch goals. We're very excited about them.
JCC has a question about a technical issue. If you're having a technical problem, you should contact us at our support channels at handelabra.com/contact, and we can potentially help you out. Yeah, I don't know if we have any more questions. There's YouTube videos now. So, Take Walker wants to know about the treasure chest.
Oh, sure.
Jeremy.
Yeah. So the treasure chest, this was a concept that we had. So a lot of times with tabletop Kickstarters, the way that it works is that, like, as people unlock more stretch goals, those stretch goals just go into the box, which is fine as promos. But one of the things that we discussed with Asmati about this was that they didn't want anything to be Kickstarter exclusive. They wanted everything to be available for everybody at some point. Maybe it's not part of the base game, but it will be, you know, something that people can buy later. And so the treasure chest is a way for us to sort of emulate that idea from tabletop without actually making things Kickstarter exclusive or Kickstarter promos or whatever. So the way that it works basically is if you back for $10, you get the game. The game includes 5 heroes, 5 dungeons, and all the stuff you need to play. All of the stretch goals and all the extra things are going to be DLC. So, like, and we haven't worked out the pricing for them yet, but you can sort of imagine that they will be like $1 for a hero, an extra hero, $1 for a dungeon maybe, or something like that. And so the treasure chest is a way that if you back to get the treasure chest for an extra $5, whatever stretch goals we unlock, you will just get them all for that $5 purchase price. And the way that that is worthwhile to you is because it starts with a copy of the soundtrack, which is already $5. So if you back for $15, you get the core game, which is $10, and the soundtrack, which is $5. But then any additional stretch goals that we unlock, promos, more dungeons, etc., you will get all of those things essentially for free. That's the idea behind the treasure chest. And the treasure chest will sort of get more valuable over time as we overfund and get more things.
Yeah, and if you came by later after the Kickstarter in the future, you buy the game for $10, and all those other things are for separate purchase.
Exactly.
Or so you're gonna be saving money by getting the treasure chest right now.
Exactly right. I love you guys so much. The first purchase I did for my Android was Sentinels and both season passes. Thank you, Maloka dude. That's awesome. Yeah, Kaliana, that's a really cool extra hero that is the first stretch goal. I believe it's the first stretch goal. And then Fanatic, we got some more dungeons coming for you, all kinds of fun stuff. We still got a lot of time on this Kickstarter. We have 23 days to go. We're going to be at PAX. Oh, we're going to be at PAX Unplugged. I completely forgot. I meant to mention this earlier, but PAX Unplugged is next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. So I want to say the 17th to the 19th. That's in Philadelphia. We will be there, booth 139. You'll also find us at the Greater Than Games booth, which is booth number, I don't remember what, but it's a big crazy booth in the main section of the floor. And we will be showing off some one-deck dungeon stuff. We will be, obviously selling Sentinels and Bottom of the Ninth. So if you're going to be in or around Philadelphia, please do stop in. Hopefully that'll give us a nice boost of people who are very excited. I believe, fingers crossed, that Forest of Shadows, the tabletop version of Forest of Shadows, will be available. They're hoping to get enough copies in via shipping to have them available for sale at PAX Unplugged, but that's still an open question. They're doing the best they can. When things are coming on a boat from China, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to figure out. But
turns out it's a popular game.
Yes, it turns out it's very popular. So, yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of running out of time, we're running out of time. And
Indeed.
I believe there's a few people who are a tiny bit excited about a huge reveal.
Oh my goodness, that's right. I always forget these days that we've got a thing that we're doing.
There's a thing that we normally do at the end of the stream these days.
Yes.
And I wonder what that's going to be.
I think we're going to make a new variant available.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and click that button right now.
All right, I'm going to go into my things.
You can see, if you restart the game, whether I'm trolling you or not. Because I could be trolling you. I could. You've been accusing me of that for weeks and weeks.
All right, so here, since I've already accidentally shown you guys a bunch of things that I'm not supposed to, I will on purpose show you me adding some things into the game here. So this is how we actually post things to our website. So this is sentinelsdigital.com. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how the Squarespace works. So we'll go to Pages, and we will go to the Fall of the Variants. Yeah, I wish it was the kind of thing where we had it all set up ahead of time, and then we just pushed a button and it worked, but that's actually not the way Squarespace works. So I'm going to edit. I will add a line, add an image, add some text. You guys all know what's coming, right? I think they all know what's coming.
It's Extremist Skyscraper.
Extremist!
Extreme! She can shrink down to the size of a red blood cell or expand up to the size of Freedom Tower. That's pretty incredible. What could possibly go wrong
Exactly.
with such power? But you don't just get to play her, you have to discover her. So take a look at all of the lore you've learned over the years and everything, and see if you can figure it out. And good luck, whoever unlocks Extremist Skyscraper first. Get onto our Facebook and Twitter and post a screenshot of the moment of unlock, and you'll be forever enshrined.
Indeed.
So, I'm looking at you, Nova Kid Blaster. This is your time to shine. Get to it.
Boom. There we go. Extremist Skyscraper now available on the Fall of the Variants.
Right. And so everyone's been talking every week about how with Skyscraper, finally, every hero has a variant in the digital version.
And it's another milestone. Extremist Skyscraper marks the 50th variant that we have launched in the digital game. 50. I was counting them up earlier today. I was like, oh, would you look at that? This is number 50.
Only 50 more to go. Not quite.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
There's something like 100 hero character cards, like not like heroes, not counting the Sentinels and whatever as extras, but like basically 100 hero versions, including the originals.
Right. Yeah. So So the foil hero pack or whatever has like 108 cards in it or something like that. So if you count things like the foil version of like the Sentinels card, the fact that Skyscraper has 3 cards for each of her things. The fact that there's 4 Sentinels and another 4 Sentinels, so there's like something like 100 of them all together. 108, I believe, is the actual number, but I might be a little off on that, but it's somewhere around there. So yeah. Alrighty. So let's go back to my script. Tonight. You guys can watch me read my script.
Go to your script.
So that's going to do it for another episode of Sentinels Live. Sentinels of the Multiverse is the only cooperative comic book card game that you should be playing. Thanks for joining us. We do this every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you do enjoy the show, please like, share, follow, and subscribe. Sentinels of the Multiverse is the only... Oh, wait. Nope. I screwed that up. Sentinels of the Multiverse is available for iOS, Android, and Steam, and always in good old analog cardboard and ink. And you can find out more info and download the free demo at sentinelsdigital.com. I'm Jeremy.
I am John.
And we're saying good night from the multiverse. Go back one deck dungeon. We love you all. And we'll see you out there. Good night, everybody.
Bye.